Daily is daily Vikings entertainment. We just want the Vikings to win a Super Bowl before we die.
I will ride with this group.
Seriously, man. Please.
And away we go.
Okay, welcome in. Live on the Purple Daily YouTube channel here every Friday, 10 a.m.-ish Central Time. We take your comments, your questions, concerns, critiques, Feedback Friday here on Purple Daily. Big night. Man, the Vikings were all over the place last night on the NFL award. You had Metellus and Bynum doing a dance, the Randy Moss tribute. Congrats to Jared Allen, Pro Football Hall of Famer. A man that Judd and I both covered.
Took a while.
His career.
Culinary Academy.
Yep.
Yep. And Jared even said when they showed the footage of like Steve Hutchinson with the good mustache game by Steve Hutchinson, knocking on his door, and Jared goes, "Finally, I thought it was going to happen 3 years ago, to be honest."
I know. How about that?
Kind of joking, kind of not.
Yep.
And then Kevin O'Connell won the AP NFL Coach of the Year award, and some controversy surrounding things he may or may not have said about Sam Darnold, and we're going to straighten all of it out to start Feedback Friday here. First, we take the audience on a journey to Kwik Trip here, Judd, to start Feedback Friday.
We definitely do, because you know what? Any day of the week is a great day to stop at Kwik Trip, which is your one-stop shopping for anything that you could possibly want. That's right. I've been talking about this for quite some time now, but ladies and gentlemen, I present to you at Kwik Trip a grocery store that's a convenience store, which means that if you go in, it's not like you're not going through aisles looking for stuff. You can identify what you want immediately and get it. There's the Kruba coffee right there, the pizzas, breakfast, lunch, dinner, or snacks. And don't forget also about the quality gas guarantee. So if that gauge is near E, fill that car up. One final thing. Much like Declan did long ago, put the Kwik Trip app on your phone, and that means that you can order whatever you need, and while you're fueling it up, you can get your groceries delivered to you. You don't even have to go inside. Kwik Trip, life could not be simpler.
Also, there's a big game happening this weekend, a very big game. Yes.
Oh, that's right, there is on Sunday.
Yep.
And that's why I want to talk to you about my friends at MyBookie. They have promotions, props, and features that make betting on the, let's say it all together, big game, not just exciting, but also profitable. Props from, and I'm not joking, will anyone trip and fall during the halftime show, to which commercial is going to appear first, and so much more. Among their offerings, they also have boosted parlay, so every extra leg in your parlay means a bigger payout. MyBookie, quite simply, is going to make the big game more fun. It's your ultimate destination for making an already probably unforgettable Sunday that much more fun. Get a 50% deposit match up to $1,000 plus a $10 casino chip as well. Again, MyBookie promo code to help us out, Purple Daily, promo code Purple Daily, so you can enjoy the big game. In fact, I think it's going to be super on Sunday. MyBookie, check them out.
Can't wait. I have to pour myself a bowl of chili or queso dip. So, all right, after kind of digging through all this now, the fact that this even became a thing last night on the internet is dumb. But let's just go through the timeline. So KOC wins Coach of the Year.
Yep.
Comes up there in his snazzy all black suit, just kind of rocking it.
That was a nice suit, by the way.
I think his wife picked it out, and he didn't know what it was too. Like he wasn't aware of what the suit was.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think I saw that from Tatum Everett. Like
just like Judd every morning.
Yep.
Dawn lays out the hooded sweatshirt.
She lays out a hooded sweatshirt.
The hat, the sponsored hat.
Purple Daily right there, baby.
So Dave Burkett, from the longtime NFL writer, author from the Detroit Free Press, he tweeted out, Kevin O'Connell in his Coach of the Year news conference said, "Our goal is to win a championship, and Sam Darnold is going to be a huge part of it when we do it. Sure sounds like the Vikings want to ride with Darnold next year." And this exploded all across, and and even like some Vikings beat writers were kind of like, "Whoa, okay." But so then he hops on a Zoom call, right, with local reporters later on that night. And our guy, ESPN's Kevin Seifert, asked Kevin O'Connell for clarification about what he said. And KOC, I'll read you this, but basically what happened was, it sounds like KOC was answering a question about Justin Jefferson.
He was. I saw it. I saw the clip now.
that Jefferson is going to be a huge part of it
Correct.
when we win a Super Bowl.
Somebody asked him about that.
Not
Yep.
Sam Darnold. Now,
Correct.
Dave Burkett has since doubled down on this because people are like, dude, what? Where did you get that? Are you joking? And he said, WTF. Yes, he actually said that. Someone asked him about Darnold, and this was his answer. I wasn't recording it because I wasn't writing about it. Just came back from the Hall of Fame presser as Antonio Gates was bouncing to different stops when he got asked. Yada, yada, yada. So I think old Dave was just wrong on this one.
Yeah.
So Kevin Seifert asked Kevin O'Connell for clarification, and KOC said, I don't necessarily think that reporting was 100% accurate. It was in the spirit of answering a question about Sam's season and what he was able to do last year, and then the follow-up in regards to what it's going to take to win a championship. Look, you guys know how I feel about Sam. He's a guy we identified last year as someone who could come in and be successful, and really no matter where he was before he arrived in his quarterback journey, it was about maximizing our time together. I think we did that, and I think it was a very special year for Sam. And what that earned him is everybody in our league now thinks he's a bona fide, legitimate starting quarterback and can win a lot of football games. He won 14 of them. So he's earned the right to be a free agent and will continue to have ongoing dialogue and discussions, or we will, with him and his representation.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it was just a mistake.
yikes.
Like I went back and watched it. There's, I think, 3 or 4 questions asked at the post-award show press conference thing, right? And O'Connell was asked, I think, a couple about Darnold. And then he was asked specifically, I think it was somebody in Louisiana, because they weren't far from Justin Jefferson's hometown.
Yeah.
She asked O'Connell about Jefferson and just his great year. And O'Connell then said he's going to be a big part of a championship. So it had nothing to do. It was just a mistake.
So the reporter here in question, Dave Burkett, kind of bounces into the room, maybe didn't hear the question, heard the previous question, thought it was a follow-up.
Yep, it was not.
Okay. Not to throw the guy too far under the bus, but when
No,
you
he's a good
double
guy.
down,
Yeah,
like
don't
that,
double down, but he's a good
man.
guy. Yeah, no, he's responsible.
But you're
reporter,
wrong every
so.
Wednesday.
But you're dead. Yeah, you're dead wrong.
Listen, if I'm going to start to throw stones about reporting mistakes, then I live in the greatest glass house of all time. So
That's fair. That's fair. But it did cause some consternation across Vikings, not only Vikings fans, but like people who cover the Vikings were like, "Whoa, why would he say that?" So, anyways, let's get to the feedback portion of Feedback Friday. Michael Cassidy says, and you can always hit us up. There's a feedback tab in the Score North app. That's the best way to email the show. We also check out YouTube comment section, so hit us up. And if you haven't already, please click that like button and the subscribe button on the Purple Daily YouTube channel as we continue our journey to 55, 60,000 subscribers. Appreciate you guys. Michael Cassidy says, was not really buying the stories that suggested there was a problem between coach and GM, but it seemed a little awkward that Kwesi was not mentioned in Kevin O'Connell's acceptance speech. A few people sent us this note.
Reckless.
Intentional snub? Or
oh boy,
he just forgot to thank the guy that brought him all those free agents and helped him get to 14.
well, he thanked the staff, and yeah, it's a little weird. He didn't thank. I will acknowledge that. A little weird. He didn't thank his GM by name. I don't know. There's a lot here because I continue to pound the drum on this. We do not really know, and they're not going to tell us how the organization works. Like, to go back to, Kwesi has a particular skill set, but it's not the normal GM skill set, right? So, like, we don't know who gets credit for what. At the end of the day, if it's good or bad, it's on Kwesi. It is a little bit odd. And it's a little bit odd. His contract's not done, although Duke said it's a formality at this point. But until we know way more, I also hesitate to make a huge leap here.
Yeah.
So a little bit odd, but I'm not like today. I'm not like, well, they're done. I don't know that at all.
I don't know, man. I think it's intentional. I think those guys hate each other. That's what I think.
I love the reckless, hey, I noticed this. Like, for example, I gave a speech at my wedding. You two were there after dinner. And I had a mental list of make sure I obviously thank my wife first and foremost, say that one first, acknowledge the in-laws, and then acknowledge, the plan for after dinner. Like, just get those 4 after.
Acknowledge all of them. Yep.
Acknowledge all of them, right? But then I'm gonna leave this nameless. But I did get someone to come up. It's like, hey, I noticed you didn't thank so and so. I don't know. It didn't cross my mind. I had a list of
true.
people that had to be
point.
acknowledged, and you're right. I probably should have maybe mixed them in, but they weren't on the forefront of what I had to get done with when I was doing that speech.
Is that kind of a
That's a good point.
not to throw like another anonymous family member under the bus? Is that kind of a dick move? You go up to someone after either a wedding speech or like a big award that you won, and you kill the buzz and put some anxiety through their body and say, you probably
if
should have.
It's not done in fun, then yes, 100%. Yeah, like I said, you didn't thank me, Declan, because I thought it was hilariously funny to bring myself up, but I was poking fun at myself. So yes, it's a 100% Richard move to actually say that.
Yeah,
and plus you're not. In O'Connell's defense, he was probably told, go quick. We don't want you to talk for a long time. He didn't have notes. So, yes, it's very plausible that what Declan said is exactly what took place.
Yeah. Or maybe he thought, I could thank Kwesi, but, I'm the one that recommended Sam Darnold. And Brian recommended Grenard. So, I
was going to say, if he's going to thank Kwesi, he probably should thank Brian Flores then. Where do
Ryan
you stop?
Grigson, the
you know what?
The area scouts that
he called his wife his rock and named his 4 kids. That's all you got to do.
Sam Darnold's my rock, and I love my wife. Yes.
No, JJ McCarthy's his rock.
JJ McCarthy's my rock. Okay, on the Kwesi front, Brendan Allison says, I think Vikings fans may still be sleeping on an unprecedented phenomenon that took place this past year. Kwesi and the crew took 3 position groups, gutted them, and made them into units that would rival some of the best in the league in terms of talent and depth with limited cap space and draft capital. Edge, they gutted Daniil Hunter, Marcus Davenport, DJ Wanham. And they brought in Jonathan Grenard, Andrew Van Ginkel, and Dallas Turner. Yeah, that worked out well. Quarterback, they gutted Kirk Cousins, Josh Dobbs, and Jaron Hall. And they added Sam Darnold, JJ McCarthy, and Daniel Jones. Nick Mullins was the carryover, I guess.
Yeah, he got to stick around.
And you could argue that both of those position groups improved or stayed flat from year to year. Edge got better because you went from having one viable pass rusher to having at least 2, and then a scheme that opened up other pressures. And then inside linebacker, they said goodbye to 2 of their top 3 highest usage inside linebackers, Jordan Hicks and is Jordan Dye, right? Or no, what's his first name? What's Dye's first name?
Jordan Hicks is the linebacker, and then
Troy Dye.
Okay.
Troy Dye.
I think he went to the Chargers, if I'm not mistaken.
Jordan Dye is the Wolves super fan.
The Wolves super
from
fan, yes.
SG Lamb Chops, right?
Yes.
Awesome dude.
Yes, that is the Wolves super fan.
He's more popular than Troy Dye was, so
he definitely is.
I forgive you for that.
And they added Blake Cashman and then Kamu Grugier-Hill to the room. So, yeah, while none of the free agent newcomers were necessarily seen as game changers individually, and the draft picks had minimal contributions, each of those positions became positions of strength. Could they possibly replicate that same strategy with our current stash? Some of the current question marks on the team are interior offensive line, interior defensive line, cornerback. I mean, the acknowledgement of when you frame it this way, that they literally gutted their edge, quarterback, and inside linebacker rooms, and they came out better afterwards. That's pretty impressive.
Well, and on the 2 defensive position groups too, what they did was they went out and found guys for Flores who fit his scheme. The work that Brian Flores did actually in 2023 in some ways is more impressive because it's a testament to he took a bunch of guys that didn't fit his scheme and got a pretty damn good showing. This past year, he actually, Daniil Hunter is a marvelous player, but God didn't put him on this earth to be a 3-4 edge. He is a 4-3 edge. He's fantastic. Yeah. And he was still damn good. So I think it's as much a credit to what Brian Flores did defensively in 2023, but the gutting of those groups defensively, not surprising. It is damn impressive that KO, sorry, and I know that the last 2 games are tough, but what he did with Darnold will always be impressive.
Wade Olson says, why aren't we covering the main story? Bill Belichick's girlfriend wore more Super Bowl rings than all of the Vikings put together in 6+ decades.
How old is his girlfriend?
Like 20.
Well, people were speculating that maybe she was wearing the 2001 or 2002 Super Bowl rings to signify the year that she was born.
Oh, wow. Well, if she's only...
It's a 48-year difference. She's 24.
There you go.
72.
That could have been the 01, right? That was probably the 01 ring.
I have one simple question for both of them. At that age, how do you tolerate the other one as far as like your life goes? Like if I'm 72, a 24-year-old kid, and if I'm 24, a 72-year-old man, I know, but I mean, I would just think that, it's money. You're right.
I think both of them benefit in some very specific ways, and then you sort of find you find in terms of the things that are maybe less fulfilling, you find other outlets.
Okay.
Is that a fair way to.
Okay.
Bill can kind of pour his life into football during his free time.
Yeah. You know what
and
I'd like to
then
see?
She can do whatever she wants.
I would like to see the advanced metrics on time spent together, like that we don't see.
You don't think they're spending every waking second together binging.
If Declan's right,
Netflix
which I bet he is, it would be very convenient. Like, because she's gorgeous, so she shows up at the red carpet, right? It's like, holy cow, Bill Belichick, you're doing great. You think when it gets done though, she's like, oh, Bill, this has just been great. Let's go back and watch film.
Maybe.
I highly.
She just loves the all 22. Just love it. Bill, can we go back and look at some of that 07 offense?
When Parcells was doing this, when you had Lawrence Taylor in 86.
I think because this happened with like Hugh Hefner always had 10 girlfriends or whatever.
True. Yeah, you're right.
When you hit a certain age, I know that if you're a Bill Belichick or whoever, you're Robert Kraft, right? You're a supremely confident, very rich old man. But don't you feel a little, I don't know if insecure is the right word, but maybe it's all just in the open. All of the options that someone in their mid to late 20s, in this case,
That's
would
what
have.
I'm saying.
Like, why is she? Obviously, like money would be a huge reason why she would choose you. It's
Joel
just
says here, Zimmer. Joel says, Mike Zimmer. That's a good point too, Joel.
But she's a little older. That's not. Oh,
she's long in the tooth. Yeah, no, she's got to be at least 30 something. Old lady right there.
Chris Burke chimes in and says, it's the off season and understandably not much to talk about. Chris, first of all, dude, you're severely mistaken. But the McCarthy hyperbole is a little bit much for me. Like, did you see his interview? Oh, what a leader. He said he's a caged animal. I love it. He won high school state championships. Wow. He throws out some cliches and cringe quotes. What a big picture, deep thinker. Laugh out loud. Can we see if he can actually be healthy enough to make it through one preseason game? Even if he does, it seems unlikely he will perform as well as Sam Darnold did, and the team is certainly due for some win regression from last year. Maybe occasionally someone could play devil's advocate to the JJ McCarthy fanboy show. He was by all appearances the Vikings' 5th choice at quarterback in the draft, maybe 4th, and he couldn't stay healthy through one preseason game. It's obviously very early, but after 1 year, the arrow points much more toward epic bust than success.
Wow. I think what we have here, and it came out just briefly, is I think we've got a Darnold stan here. I think we've got a Darnold stan a little bit.
Or do we have a quarterback fearmonger here? Is it possible?
True too.
I'd have to go see. Chris has been emailing. We appreciate Chris. Chris pushes back on that when we need that here.
Sure. Yeah.
But I'd have to go cross-reference if Chris was in or out on Cousins this time of year, a year ago too. Are you clinging to the known commodity, and or do you actually in a vacuum think JJ McCarthy is a bust for other reasons?
And I'm moving on from Sam. Like I'm moving on from Sam. In fact, I'm probably, truthfully, I'm moving on from Sam more than I'm embracing McCarthy, and I'm actually embracing him. But I'm done. So, like, if the thing is, well, be careful, I sense trouble. Okay, sorry, I'm done with Sam.
Yeah, like I guess
run.
my pushback would be, first of all, other than the injury, what red flags has JJ McCarthy or his resume other than the injury and Michigan ran the ball a lot? What other red flags make you feel like, this guy is? Because for the people that break down film, by the way, for the teams in the NFL that put their jobs on the line actually drafting players, he was a top 10 draft pick. Mm-hmm. There were thoughts of him maybe even being closer to top 5. Jim Harbaugh, who had no reason to he was on the way out of Michigan, going to the NFL, had no reason to say something that was completely false. Jim Harbaugh said he's the best quarterback in the draft. Oh yeah, you're gonna pump your own guys' tires. I get that, but I guess if we're in wait and see mode with JJ McCarthy, why would we lean toward negative and toxic takes on it? Why what good is it to sit here and say what evidence do you have that he's going to be a bust? And in the absence of that evidence, I would lean toward glass half full. I leaned glass half full on Ponder for a year and a half. And then when the evidence presented itself, okay, let's have a conversation about it. It is not time for that conversation about JJ McCarthy right now. So, Chris, do you literally want us to jump on here every day and cast doubt on JJ McCarthy before he has a chance to prove it on the field? I just don't. I guess I don't really get where you want pushback and you want to play devil's advocate. To what? He's been super impressive as a leader, maturity, the things that people say about him in high school, college, and the NFL, the way the Vikings feel about him. So I don't know, man. I don't know what Chris wants.
On the win-loss factor, yes, there's probably is going to be a regression. The Vikings probably won't win 14 games again with JJ McCarthy, but it's all about the perception of, again, how it looks. If they're an 11-win team and they're more kind of well-rounded and you don't feel like there's this clunker coming around the corner, that's different. The Packers were 9-8 and they beat the Cowboys and they almost go to the conference championship. This year they have a better wins-loss record and they get blown out. It's not completely equal. Yes, your goal is to win as many football games as possible, but just because the record regresses from year to year does not mean the team's outlook looks worse either.
And
correct.
The next step now, by the way, is to win a playoff game. Okay, you win 14 games. Awesome. Guess what? You lost in the first round. If you win 11 games and win a playoff game or 2, your season, a greater success. And I'm going to tell you right now, after watching Darnold in those last 2 games, I have zero confidence he can win a playoff game. Kirk Cousins checked down on 4th and 8 in a playoff game, okay? So I'm going to continue to roll the proverbial dice. And Phil, you're exactly right. This dude's a top 10 pick. You do not take a guy. This franchise was born in 1961. Prior to JJ, they had never taken a quarterback top 10. So now they have. And you want to be scared about it? I want to see if the kid can win.
And it wasn't to go back to Ponder, because he was the 12th overall pick?
Yeah.
It was a top 15 pick?
Yeah, I think he was 12.
But that was kind of shocking because the evaluation on him was more of, he's kind of maybe a second-round pick, and the Vikings panicked and reached a little bit. And, again, it doesn't mean there's been guys who've been overdrafted, underdrafted that pan out or not. So it's not a black and white discussion, but the league evaluation on JJ McCarthy by the end of the process he's a second round pick who was overdrafted by 20 slots. It was, no, the league thinks this dude's awesome.
Yes.
Even though maybe he didn't have to show it as much in college because Michigan had the most ridiculous run game in the entire country and they rode it to a national championship. So
yep.
I think as people found out with Cousins, when it's time, if you're accusing us on this show of being too positive or Pollyanna or pie in the sky, I think we've proven over the course of multiple years on Purple Daily and other podcasts, when it's time to be critical of someone, Karl Anthony Towns, Andrew Wiggins back in the day, Kirk Cousins, we will criticize. It is not time to be critical of JJ McCarthy. We'll see if that time comes. Bust. It's terrible.
Bust.
John from Jersey says, this is why I love you guys. The Tuesday spreadsheet episode of draft allocation and cap space is why I listen. You guys obviously know more than the average Vikings fan. We just have more time on our hands, I guess, to go through spreadsheets. Yes, I've been drinking but it doesn't change the scope of the show. Well done, Skull.
Skull. I knew we were going to get the Skull.
John's like, I've been drinking and I love you guys.
That's okay.
John, we love you too, man.
That's okay.
Robert Hawley says, the rules around the use of the term Super Bowl are confusing. My question for you is, when can and can't you say Super Bowl? For example, when you state that the Write That Down season spans from Super Bowl to Super Bowl, are you in violation? Likewise, when you use the tagline, I just want to win a Super Bowl before I die, is that legal? It's a great question. Yeah. So if you're just like doing content or your radio show, TV show, whatever, you're talking about the games and the season, if it's just all part of content, you can say Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. If you are using Super Bowl as leverage in like a marketing campaign, like a paid campaign,
like a third party is involved. Yep.
Like I'll give you an example here in a minute, but on the merchandise, for instance, so we can say, because it's content, we want the Vikings to win a Super Bowl.
Yep.
But the minute we start selling shirts that say we want the Vikings to win, we can't put like we want the Vikings to win a Super Bowl with the trophy on a shirt, so we have to get creative with that. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Mm-hmm. Yes, you can't advertise. You can't say it in advertising, but you can in like your day-to-day conversations.
Yeah. Like right now, we could say, hey, really excited for the Super Bowl Foods snake draft coming up later in the show.
God, you know what we should do? We should try to patent the term big game. So every time that's used... Smart.
Now we get this,
we get a profit. If you use big game, the show gets a profit.
Yeah. If no one has thought of that yet, then let's jump on that. It's pretty genius. So you could, like, we could say, I think the Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl. But what I can't do is say, open the PrizePicks app, and it's like for that, I would say, open the PrizePicks app for the big game coming up this weekend. Really big game, for example.
Really football.
And like you open it right here, by the way, and there's a square. It's a free square, essentially. It's Patrick Mahomes' 0.5 passing yards. So, get on that. PrizePicks, where you can win up to 1,000 times your money. You select between 2 and 6 players. You pick more or less on their projected stats, and you place your entry. It's a great companion for that big game this weekend. A good time for all. Download the PrizePicks app today. Use the code PURPLEDAILY and get $50 instantly when you play just $5. That's the PrizePicks app. It's free to download. Use the code PURPLEDAILY and you get $50 instantly when you play just $5. Judd, tell the audience about, in 1 week, you got Valentine's Day coming up here, and Petal Floral might be able to help you with your gift giving.
Yes, guys. As Phil just said, 1 week. 1 week from today is Valentine's Day. Wife, girlfriend, mom, do not delay. And here's the other thing. As you look at this beautiful arrangement of bouquets and things, do not go into the store next like Thursday and get cheap flowers. In fact, at the Petal Floral Boutique in Edina, it's the perfect place to go. Plus, they've got a Purple Daily special, and support those who support us because they are big fans of the show. The Valentine's Day collection, as you're seeing right here, includes premium roses and mixed bouquets. Also, a little advice from Sports Dad. Add some delicious chocolates and candles. Those are huge. Place your orders now at thepetal.com. That's thepetal.com, or call 612-356-2890. Delivery available in the West Metro. Cutoff for pre-orders and the 10% Purple Daily special is this Sunday. The code word is PURPLE. Mention code word PURPLE at checkout to receive the Purple Daily 10% special as well. Located at 50th and France in Edina, the Petal Floral Boutique. Again, go cheap. Do not get the cheap bouquet. Get something gorgeous that your wife, your girlfriend, or mom is absolutely going to love. They deserve it at the Petal Floral Boutique.
Another idea for Valentine's Day, I guess, is to say, hey, honey, Minnesota Rusco is going to finally help us with that remodel we've been talking about. That the window remodel, the doors, the bathroom, kitchen, siding, decks, roofing, when the weather is a little bit nicer. Cody and Casey are here to help at Minnesota Rusco, Minnesota's hometown remodeler since 1955. So there's also a great deal going on because February is the month of love, and Minnesota Rusco loves a good sale. So how about no interest and no payments for 2 full years on your remodel? 70% off all labor on everything Minnesota Rusco has to offer, and you get a free gift box with every appointment too. Sounds like a pretty good deal. So if you're looking to make your remodel a reality, turn to the experts at Minnesota Rusco. Since 1955, they've been serving Minnesotans. MinnesotaRusco.com. That's MinnesotaRusco.com. Appreciate you guys supporting our partners here. Jackson Riggins says, opinion and a question. I think trading an extremely promising young wide receiver in Jordan Addison, as suggested on this show, is crazy. Why do you guys think getting rid of a talented guy on a rookie scale contract that you can pair with JJ McCarthy and Justin Jefferson is a good idea? We've gotten a lot of that sort of like, why is this even a discussion? Are you guys insane?
Yep. Number one, you need draft capital. Number two, and I think the first time that I broached this as a hot take about a month and a half ago now, I also included, this depends on what the Vikings know about a kid who has had off-season trouble on the road 2 consecutive years, and he's going to be suspended for three games. The issue here is, if you think he has cleaned up his act beyond belief, okay, keep him. But do so at your own peril, because one, the off-the-field stuff, and two, as his contract gets closer to expiring, he is going to get you less in return, and there is no way, unless you guys completely disagree with me, there is no way he is getting a second contract here when Justin Jefferson already is pulling so much of your cap space in that position group. So I'm just saying, I think you got to at least consider your options, but make no mistake, the talent is there. But Jefferson's a great kid and is, knock on wood, never in trouble. This kid in 2 consecutive years has been in trouble, and I'm telling you right now, he's going to get a first suspension of 3 games in 2025, and if he slips up again, that only increases, and that creates problems. That's why.
Yeah, it's you hit all the points. I mean, he's a good player who makes very little money, and you need those on your team. So I don't think it is an urgent 2025 issue because he's under team control for 3 more years. 2 of them very inexpensive, and then there's the 5th-year option, which is a little more expensive. But you aren't signing him to an extension. So you're at any point he's given you 2 years. He's shown some immaturity things, and to your point, he's going to cost the team because he's going to get suspended for a portion of games. You are on trade watch with him at some point. I would let it ride 1 more year to make sure that JJ McCarthy has weapons all over the place, and then with 2 more years left of team control, one of them being very cheap, I would look to leverage him for a 1st or a 2nd round pick or something to replenish draft capital. You're not going to sign a new extension. So I guess you could carry it through to the end, but you don't want him to walk for nothing except for a comp pick. So, I mean, Cincinnati probably should have traded T. Higgins.
Yes.
They'll get a comp pick for him in 2026, but here they are. And now Joe Burrow's going on every national podcast and TV show of just begging the Bengals to bring back their best players. Mark R. says, I love all the speculation and conversation about bringing Cooper Kupp in to be the Vikings' number 3 wide receiver, but I too would like to participate in some reckless speculation.
Come on in. The water's fine. I love this.
Did you guys see this note, or am I breaking this one to you?
You're breaking this to me. Declan
Okay.
might have.
What do you think about bringing in another former All-Pro receiver? Well, he's saying to be our number 3. I don't think this dude would be your number 3. Can you guess which name I'm about to throw out?
All-Pro wideout, not Cooper Kupp, obviously.
A man who is not happy with his current situation. A man who, at various times over the last 5-6 years, has been regarded as maybe the best wide receiver in the NFL.
Oh, Tyreek.
Tyreek Hill.
God, no. Wow.
Is an unhappy man
Love
in
it.
Miami.
Whoa.
And in the past, he said he was a Vikings fan as a kid.
Yes.
I know he's probably not as fast as he once was, but even an 80% Tyreek Hill is still faster than most of the league. and would be great as the Vikings' third wide receiver option. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I love listening to your show. Keep up the good work. So quick research. Well, he's 31 years old, for one. He has 2 years left on his deal. I believe the new team, whoever trades for him, would be on the hook for like $40 to $45 million over 2 years. Yeah. I don't know how much in terms of guarantees. Maybe there's a restructure in there. He'd still be very expensive, even though he didn't get 1,000 yards. That was mostly a product of Tua being out for half the season. But Tyreek Hill, your thoughts?
No, thank you. No. I can't. I mean, just from a starting point, that contract, like, you've got to keep that room under control, right? A little bit contractually. So if you didn't have a receiver, then I guess. But no, I'm trying to like juggle that room from a cap standpoint. Can you imagine the bomb of Tyreek? Hey, Tyreek, enjoy, go have fun, and you're going to cost us a ton. Can't do it. Sorry, can't do it. Won't do it.
Yeah, unless like you get him on a new deal, like, and I don't understand. So like, is there a path where he's released by the Dolphins? I don't know what his
boy. No, I mean he has, because that's the thing with Kupp. It's like because they're both similarly expensive.
Let's see here.
Kupp has been banged up. Tyreek played all 17. I'm pretty sure last year. He just didn't put up numbers. But I think 2 years ago he was leading the league in receiving yards. So the perception of Tyreek is that, all right, that was a weird year, but that dude is still a stud. Just get him with a better, more consistently healthy quarterback. So the Dolphins there's no way they would cut him.
Nope, they can't.
Somebody would trade for him. Cooper Kupp might just get cut because I don't know.
I think he's going to have to be cut.
Yeah.
Well, and now, thankfully, Kelly Stafford has come out and basically said her husband not pleased, that she loves it in LA, but she is up for an adventure, basically implying that we might not be back with the Rams either.
It's crazy.
It's on. I love when wives. This is the greatest because you find out what hubby is thinking.
Do we have like a Mount Rushmore of wives who will go scorched earth in the NFL?
Thielen.
Caitlin Thielen.
She went pretty scorched
Kelly
earth.
Stafford for sure.
Yep. And their husbands have never said any of this publicly, but this is the dinner table talk.
I would say honorable mention for Tom Brady's ex-wife, Gisele Bündchen, who was caught complaining that Tom Brady can't throw it and catch it that one time.
That's right. No,
you know they talked about that probably.
I'm just saying.
Oh, Sam Ponder, people are saying.
Oh,
but she would go on Twitter and she would fight people on Twitter and then blocked every Vikings fan and media member.
Yeah,
she kind of lost that.
I always appreciate family though, like Jordan Addison's dad, to me, very helpful because they talk, right? And so like his whole thing, it's not like Jordan's like, oh, I'm really happy. Like these are the things that the wives and dads and moms give you a far greater clue into how the player feels often than the player does. So this is again why I think it's instructive that the Staffords might not be pleased. In which case, who knows what happens with the Rams?
Yeah, Kurt Warner's wife, Brenda
Warner,
are saying that's an old school one.
Real old school.
Zach Block says, I've got a random question. Big fan of the show. I listen every day, and I'm wondering, how much fun are you guys having? To me, it seems like you guys are having a ton of fun talking football and Vikings every day. How would you compare doing this podcast every day to your old radio show?
There's no comparison. It's 10 times more fun.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's great. It's great.
It's a great format.
The old show was fun. I enjoyed it, but it was like a segment on the Vikings and then a segment on the Wolves and then a segment on the Wild or the Twins.
Which, if we could go back in time, we would probably just do 4 hours of Vikings every day.
Yep. Focus. Niches,
I'm telling
right?
you. Not having to do math and getting us out at the top of the hour is like the biggest chunk of pie. I am so thankful I don't have to worry about.
Your job would have sucked. Again. The producer job would have sucked.
I can't tell you how much. I still have nightmares. I still have dreams where we're stuck in a situation where we can't get out into break. Entering promo information over the phone while making sure the spots are going, while making sure the bed starts on time, while making sure the mics are up okay. Why? Why? Why is it like this? It's like flying a plane in 1965, and we're trying to do it in 2025 . So, no, I'm good.
It gives Declan anxiety too. I think too for us,
Your job is difficult.
AM radio was booming for many decades, and we kind of came along at the end of its. We were like Bill Belichick's new girlfriend coming in, and he's in his 70s. And so for us, even being on YouTube and podcast has just opened up to a much bigger and different audience than when we were doing 9 to 1 o'clock on an AM radio station. So we love it. We love it.
And in retrospect now, like trying to juggle topics is crazy.
So you got like 10 minutes because what you're doing on the radio is, and obviously like sponsors and advertisers support free content. So this is free, and in return, we mix in advertiser messages, and we appreciate you guys supporting. But it's a little more free flowing on a podcast in that we don't have like a set. We have to do 46 minutes exactly with 4 commercial breaks that are exactly 4.5 minutes that Declan has to math out in timeout. And so to Judd's point, we're going to open the show by doing a 10-minute Viking segment. But what if it's an awesome conversation and we want it to go 20? You can't, because you must take a break so you don't fall behind. And yeah, there's just a lot. We love the free-flowing nature of it. If there's sometimes a show goes 36 minutes, sometimes it goes an hour and 15 when we have a spreadsheet of cap hits,
That was awesome. God, that was fun.
My wife said she had a dream the other night that there was a new podcast wing at Score North, and it was the Real Housewives of Score North, and it was all of our wives on the show
doing
together,
a podcast.
doing a podcast. And I said, I don't even think that's a dream. That kind of sounds like reality to me.
We could probably do that, and
I'd get
they would be talking about like us and their lives and stuff.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Real Housewives of Score North.
So Judd was on the couch watching hockey again.
Oh, there'd be stories about. Oh God, the stories about me would be. Well, I don't even want to hear them.
There's Phil. He says he's going to eat healthy and lift weights again. That lasted a week.
Yeah, they're talking sports again. I don't even care. I like Dawn. I don't even care about that stuff. Dawn says that people at her work who are sports fans will say, "What does Judd think about like the Wolves trade or something?" and she's like, "I don't know. I don't ask him about that. Who cares?"
Who cares? Oh man. Let's see here. A couple more, and then we'll get to our snake draft of the week. Juliana Jackson says, really enjoyed all of the anonymous tips that were sent in from fans last offseason. Since this is a safe space to recklessly speculate,
Reckless speculation.
I have a question or a possibility for the three of you. I attended the Pro Bowl this past weekend, first ever NFL event for me, and it was great to see many other Vikings fans there. Outside of chatting a lot with his Vikings teammates and former teammate Baker Mayfield, I noticed Sam Darnold gravitate toward 49ers players quite a bit. This made me wonder if the 49ers would ever consider bringing him back. His deal would be cheaper than Brock Purdy, and he's familiar with the system. I know it's very reckless and unlikely, but what would you think of this possibility? Sam Darnold back to the 49ers.
We've talked about it. I wouldn't dismiss it completely. I wouldn't dismiss it. My biggest, if I was to have 5 non-Vikings related off-season questions, one of them is this: are the 49ers going to pay Brock Purdy? I think they're going to, but you could make a case that you shouldn't. So, well, I think he probably talked to his friends because he clearly spent a year with San Francisco. Would I be absolutely shocked by him going to the Niners? No, I would not be, because I don't know if the team is going to feel obligated to pay Purdy when in their minds they probably developed him completely, if that makes sense.
It's so tough because, man, it's like life. It's sometimes you just lean into what's comfortable versus what might actually be better for you in so many areas. And this is what the Niners, it's comfortable to just keep moving forward with Brock Purdy. We know that he's good. We hope that there's another level there, but there's also a reason why he was a 7th round draft pick and not the 9th overall pick.
Yeah.
So is there really another level there? And in large part, not to take full credit away from him, because even if you have weapons all over the place, There's a lot of quarterbacks that step in and can't even lead the Niners or you could put the 70th best quarterback in the world in that Detroit offense, and they would potentially struggle. So Purdy is a certain level of good. But if it's between Brock Purdy at $55 million or Sam Darnold at $40 million, and you get that extra $15-ish million cushion to make your team better, isn't that a no-brainer in a vacuum? And the only reason why you would choose Purdy is because, well, we really like him, and he's been here for a few years.
But the cap then, see, where I think this goes a little bit sideways is, yeah, you're comfortable with the person, but you're not comfortable with the cap. So, yes, if you wanted to, so Pittsburgh and the Raiders make the most sense for Sam. And I think that, as we talked about this, the Raiders make a ton of sense now. But if you wanted to go off the grid a little bit and recklessly speculate, Darnold to San Francisco, I wouldn't be shocked. Mm-hmm. And quite frankly, if Stafford is going to cause problems and things are fracturing there, and they might be, Darnold to the Rams. Now, I hesitate a bit because the Rams saw Sam at his absolute worst, and it was bad. But Darnold to the Rams at least could be a conversation.
Yeah. Yeah, and by the way, the Niners do have cap space before. Now, if they do sign Purdy to an extension, the real cap stuff wouldn't kick in for 2 more years.
Right.
So they have cap space, but yeah, the Rams are interesting with all the Stafford stuff. Okay, this was sent from a listener, a post from Instagram about actor Christopher Walken.
Christopher Walken.
I need more
sauce.
I need more cowbell.
Cowbell.
He says, the post says, actor Christopher Walken has never owned a cell phone, used social media, or email, and has no plans on starting. Quote from Christopher Walken: I don't have technology. I don't know if I can do it.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
I only have a satellite dish on my house, so I've seen Severance on DVDs that they're good enough to send to me. I don't have a cell phone. I've never emailed or, Twittered. I've never had a watch either. If I need the time, I just ask somebody. Likewise, once in a while when I need to use a phone, I just ask if I can borrow one.
Yep.
I'd have to turn it. Sorry, dude. I don't want you to run off and steal it. I don't even trust Christopher Walken. What are your thoughts on this? Would you be able to live like Christopher Walken?
Hell no.
He's 81, so no. No.
Well, even if you took his philosophies and applied them in your current age, I can tell you right now, no shot. I need my phone. I have no problem admitting I am 100% addicted to my phone and the majority of technology. So no, as much as I love Christopher Walken, great actor.
But he's an old man too. I would need to see that story about a person, let's say in the age bracket of 40 to 50, because then I'd be like, no way. But 81, that's not surprising.
But it's my dad was like that too.
But
he just
really
he retired from work when they introduced their computer admin system. He's like, I don't want to do this.
Peace out.
Peace out.
Genius, yeah.
But
See you guys.
so there's a certain age where you just I guess whatever. I'll just detach myself from the way people communicate. If you're Christopher Walken, by the way, you have people that you need buffers anyways. So it's probably a little easier when you have people that can say, hey, here's the 5 movie offers that are coming in. You got an agent and stuff.
And he's also incredibly weird. That's the thing is we're not talking about a normal guy here.
I don't own a cell phone. I don't have technology. It's not my thing. I just use someone else's phone when I
sound like Arnold.
You
sound like you're crossing.
There is a little. It's like a little Arnold throaty, but that's
to the cowbell.
That's really good.
Yeah.
That's really awesome.
Oh man. Okay, let's get to our snake draft of the week here, gentlemen. Presented in part, a reminder. There is that big game. Big game coming up this weekend. Sorry, I see Tommy Roller in the comments section. Just plug your ears for the next. He doesn't like the big game references. We're going to be obnoxious for the next 60 seconds.
Well, there's a football match, and it's not soccer, coming up on Sunday. And I want to tell you right now, to make that football match more enjoyable, check out my friends at MyBookie. We're talking about promotions. We're talking about props and features that make betting on the big match not just exciting, but also profitable. I talked about this before, but where else are you going to find a prop that has Will Anyone Trip and Fall during the halftime show. I mean,
great.
My God, it's absolutely perfect. Which commercial and commercials will be shown first. Also, boosted parlay, so every extra leg in your parlay means a bigger payout. MyBookie is going to make your Sunday watching the big match so enjoyable. Everything from props to live betting. MyBookie, the ultimate destination for making Sunday unforgettable, along with all that great food that you're going to eat. Get a 50% deposit match up to $1,000 plus a $10 casino chip. It's this simple. Help us out. Code word Purple Daily. Code word Purple Daily. Your favorite show to go along with perhaps your favorite game. MyBookie, making Sunday a lot of fun.
Amen.
Didn't say big game. Didn't say it.
You got
big
close.
Match, big football match.
Black Stag Brewing, also a great partner of ours here, helping to support Purple Daily and beer drinkers all over the state of Minnesota with expanded distribution too. Black Stack in Wisconsin, Nebraska, and South Dakota. Also during the season, Black Stag beer available inside U.S. Bank Stadium during Vikings games. BlackStagBrewing.com to find out where you can buy the local 755 New England IPA, the Slopes French Pilsner, Pull Tabs Pale Ale. And if you have not seen the tap room yet, it is magnificent. It's legitimately one of the 2 or 3 biggest tap rooms in Minnesota. Extensive beer selection that you can't get in liquor stores. Also hard seltzer cocktails, boozy slushies, massive seating areas, couches, lounge chairs, a 190-inch big screen TVs, food trucks and pop-ups, blackstackbrewing.com. And a shout out to Canopy Group as well before we fire up this snake draft.
Absolutely. An in-state-based independent insurance company that has your best interest in mind. That's the most important thing. Much like a sports executive is constantly on the lookout and scouting for the best talent available, the Canopy Group does the same for you when it comes to getting the best insurance coverage at the best price. Here's why. They work with 16 groups of top-tier companies to make sure you have the best insurance roster available for auto, home, health, and business. And when it comes time for your renewal as well, you're going to hear from the Canopy Group because you deserve better than the status quo, folks. You deserve the Canopy Group. Give them a call, 1-800-967-3389, 1-800-967-3389, or check out their website at thecanopygroup.com. That is thecanopygroup.com. Having your best interest in mind when it comes to insurance means that you have a friend in the Canopy Group.
All right. It's time for the snake draft of the week. But first, Declan, you have the historical statistical sheet in front of you, I believe.
I do.
And you said in our text thread that we had history happen with last week's snake draft.
We did. So, quick little update. So Judd has won back-to-back weeks. He won animated characters 2 weeks ago. He won coveted championships.
Good job, Judd.
Judd, you now have 13 victories.
Wow.
In the snake draft
People
statistics.
People love me.
Phil has 9. I have 7. But our historic update. The lowest percentage of possible votes has been updated from Mackey previously to Mackey again with 2.3%.
Let's go.
From the coveted championships draft, dethroning the previous record low of 3.4% with the infamous Ahi Tuna Crisp Bar Foods snake draft.
Don't make me unload Ahi Tuna
Another
Crisps in the Super Bowl food and snacks
You go
draft here
right
today.
ahead.
That's right.
It's clearly a winner.
Thank you, everyone. What? No love for the Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Championship, the WWE Undisputed World Heavyweight Championship.
I mean, I love those titles.
Uncultured
and by
people.
the way, Judd didn't. I don't think it was the biggest win of all time, but Judd ran away with the victory of the coveted championships.
Wow.
I'm gonna try to pull up the actual statistics here, but Judd was firmly in the running there for that. Judd had 70.8% of the vote.
All
I was
precincts reporting.
second at 26.9.
Yep.
And that still wasn't the biggest gap. The largest margin of victory was Mackey over Judd for Thanksgiving foods at 66%.
Okay.
I should have taken turkey.
Wow,
Anyway,
dude.
I should
So
have done turkey.
Coleslaw.
Judd's on a roll. I am historically
Coleslaw.
inept. Yeah, the coleslaw.
That
I
was
think
the
if we had
coleslaw
a
draft.
Hall of Fame for worst pick ever, coleslaw, the 2 worst ever drafts are probably me and then Judd with the most victories of all time. There's a lot of categories. So, yeah, the last handful of snake drafts we've done are coveted championships, animated characters, video games, buddy cop movies, hot sauces, Christmas movies, and lunch meats. It's a 3-round snake draft, and I believe Dex is back with the number 1 overall pick this week. So we'll go Declan, Mackie, Judd, and then we snake draft back to Judd, and then so on and so forth here. And it is Super Bowl party foods. So pretty much, if Dex wants to draft coleslaw, if I want to draft ahi tuna crisps,
You do whatever
we're
you want.
all at our own mercy
Do whatever
here.
you want.
So Declan, you are on the clock with the number 1 overall pick in the Super Bowl party foods draft.
I will take with a bullet my buffalo wings. Love wings. Buffalo wings, specifically, I guess, if someone else wants to still enter the wing category to a degree.
Okay.
I think that's fair if one of you guys want some other type.
I would say
wing.
because you specified buffalo wings, that leaves other types of wings open to be drafted.
Yep. So I'm going to take buffalo wings with my first overall pick. Love me some wings.
All right. Yeah, I'll bet if you had like with the mock drafts, they've got these consensus big boards that take all the mock drafts and kind of aggregate. If there was a consensus big board, buffalo wings would probably be number 1.
Yeah.
Super Bowl party
I think
food.
it's probably right there.
Yeah. Boy, so many options here. I'm gonna play the hits here a little bit. I'm gonna keep it simple. Give me pizza. I'll take pizza with my first round pick.
Yeah, just pizza. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'll just take the pizza category here.
Yeah.
If that's okay. Personally, I like a good thin crust cut into squares, Minnesota style, so you can pound them, you can snack them if you want to. Could also go deep dish and just like end your night in the third quarter.
Oh no!
I will be asleep at the 4-minute mark of the second quarter.
I'm not a fan.
I don't like it either. It's not.
I'm not a
it's
fan.
not pizza. It's not pizza.
Well, it ends your night.
Yeah.
Like, when's the last time that you said, you know what, let's go out and have a deep dish and then go to a movie or go drink? I mean, it's over.
If you're gonna get, I love deep dish. I know you guys kind of hate it, but if you do get the deep dish, you really have to just clear the rest of your night. Just
literally,
it's food coma central.
Like, you got to get home.
It's tough.
You got to get in some sweatpants.
Maybe go to the bathroom.
And then you got to be near a bathroom.
Yeah.
I don't hate it. It's just counterproductive. Like, it's not like disgusting. Like, see, it depends. If it's too cheesy, it can be gross. But like, this is not hate. This is not food hate. It is just, it brings your night to a screeching halt.
Elite Feet says, are you guys just drafting foods you like? No, this is specifically, by the way, the audience is going to tell us. Like, if I were to draft, I don't know, smoked pork chops or something, because I love them. That's kind of
weird.
Ahi tuna. I love ahi tuna crisps.
Like turkey.
I'm going to get destroyed in this draft. Yeah, this is Super Bowl foods you would eat on Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah, the coleslaw one is an incredible one. Okay, so it's me twice, right?
Yep.
2 Utah, 2. My first one, nachos.
Okay.
Nachos is my first one.
I enjoy nachos. My only issue at like a Super Bowl gathering is A, how cold they get very quickly. And B, if it's community nachos, it's always kind of hard to figure out. Like, you grab them, put some on a plate? It's kind of
I don't do community, so I am solo here. It's me, Stella, and so no, that's gross.
There's a great King of Queens episode where I think Arthur tries to take the chip that has the most nucleus of the nacho, and he gets really upset. Like, Doug gets really upset. You're taking too much of the nucleus of the nachos, man. You got to work your way in there. To Phil's point, then it becomes a problem.
Yeah, no, community nachos, not what I'm thinking.
Okay. Well, I mean, this is a Super Bowl party food. You're thinking like, I watched the Super Bowl in isolation.
Well, I'm making my own. I'm getting my own nacho.
Are you going to put Hot Pockets in here too?
I'm going to make my own nacho plate. Nachos are my first pick. Here's my question. I need interpretation here. Mm-hmm. Is this too generalized or not? But I want boneless wings.
No. In fact, somebody did ask Declan to clarify. I think I assumed that you meant bone-in buffalo.
I did.
Judge taking boneless.
I want
wings
boneless.
Here.
I love boneless wings.
So you want chicken nuggets is what you're drafting here.
Yeah.
Here's the
And now
thing
jokes
with
will
boneless
start in
wings
the
versus
comments.
boning, because it's a very controversial topic.
gonna-
If it's
I
a
can't
place
wait
that
for
is
comments.
not known for good actual buffalo wings, if you're going, I'm not going to name them. If you're going to a chain restaurant, okay, of popular chain restaurants, I'm not even going to use one.
I'd love to.
Probably order the boneless. It's okay. If you're going to an authentic, great place that's
Yeah.
known for its wings, you
Yeah.
get bone-in wings. And I don't think we should shame those in either category. You got to know what place it is
Well,
to order the wings.
One place, the chain is a great place to also watch a ton of games. So it's very enjoyable to be there while you're watching a ton of games.
I just don't. What I don't get is, I enjoy boneless wings.
I do too.
Personally, I enjoy bone-in wings better. They are not at all the same food. So what I don't understand is we're calling them both wings. One of them has a physical bone
you're right.
structure inside that you navigate around.
You're right.
The other is like a processed nugget. So why they're called the same thing
though.
Yeah.
doesn't make sense.
That's a good point, but they're good. They are tasty. I guess they're terrible for you, but
That's fine.
Chud's like, I guess that
It's
fried
Super Bowl
thing with
Sunday, and I
processed
can
meat is
say
terrible
it.
for you,
That's
but-
okay.
it's Super Bowl Sunday, so you know what? What the hell?
Okay, give me. I was kind of hoping this would be here, and I feel like I think this is a Declan thing too. Maybe I'm sniping this, but give me buffalo queso dip, chips and buffalo queso dip for my second
Okay.
round pick here.
Just a clarification, because I think buffalo and queso dip are two different things. Are you saying? Because in my opinion, queso dip is different than buffalo chicken dip. Are you combining these
Okay,
in one surplus?
I'll say you're right. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
More specifically, I will lean into the buffalo chicken dip.
Dip. Okay.
Buffalo chicken.
I
Dip.
was gonna
That's where
pick
we'll go.
that. I was gonna pick that. So yes,
Okay.
your intuition was right.
I'll leave queso if
Yeah.
somebody wants queso, but buffalo chicken dip is what we'll go with here.
Okay.
Just and then whatever sturdy chip you need, like a
Yeah.
ruffle,
Yeah.
something, whatever you feel like.
Oh, a
Thrown
good
in there.
ruffle. I love a ruffle. Oh,
Good
that's
ruffle.
fantastic.
We're back to Declan with the
Holds
final
up.
pick in the second round and the first pick in the third round here.
So I have one for sure. I'll fire that off now because I have back-to-back picks. So give me meatballs.
Ooh,
Love
okay.
meatballs. I always have meatballs.
Like the mini ones in a crock pot.
crock pot meatballs, toothpick.
Yep.
Pick them all out. Love me some meatballs. That's a go-to of mine.
Yep.
Now I'm between a few others. One I feel like, so I have my wings and meat, so I need a dip, and I was hoping buffalo chicken dip was gonna fall right into Dex Tweet's lap with the meatballs, and I would have, regardless of the voting, I would have known I won this snake draft of the week. So I'm gonna go with queso, chips and queso.
Okay.
I'm a huge queso guy.
Chips
Don't
and
mind
queso.
it. Don't love it.
Yeah.
Ambivalent.
So Dex's draft is complete here with the meatballs and the chips and queso, which brings us back to my final pick. I feel like the undrafted free agent board is very strong here. Mackie going Caesar salad in round
do
three.
love
I
a
do.
Caesar.
Give me a chicken Caesar wrap potentially
I'll-
too.
Fantastic.
Is there enough salads to do a salad draft? Because I have a few salads in my opinion.
Yes, I'm
A
adding
salad
that to our
draft.
list.
And some of them, with the particular dressings, very also bad for you. Some of
Why
those
are you so
salads-
focused on like what's
Yeah.
good
Very
and
bad
bad for
for
you
you.
in this draft right
Because
now?
I'm just
Why are you trying to
telling you,
shame
I-
us?
I
We're
used
just
to think- I
we're
used
just
to
trying to
think
have a good
that-
Super Bowl
I
party
used
here,
to
and you're like,
think that
oh.
I used to think that salads. I used to think, oh, it's salad. It's all good for you. And then I found out, no, it's
I
not
love
necessarily
what Judd's
true.
epiphany was. Boy, if you glob 400 calories of thick ranch dressing on these leaves,
I
it
love
might
ranch
make it a
dressing.
little worse.
And
for
blue
you.
cheese. I love ranch and blue cheese.
Okay, I'm gonna go. This is a little bit, I think, a little higher class in terms of like it takes some preparation. But give me sliders.
Okay, yeah.
Give me sliders here.
I've had sliders.
You don't just rip open a bag of chips and throw them out. They take some preparation here, but some sliders here to complete. Like, by the way, hamburger
Burger.
sliders.
Yeah. Okay.
You could go
That's
pull some sort of pulled meat too. I'm going to go hamburger, whatever. You could just say burger sliders. That's my final pick.
Oh, that
All right.
leaves me, that leaves me with two options. So I've already got nachos on my plate here, which I'm not sharing.
Are they good for you?
Nachos? No, probably not. No. especially since I load up my nachos potentially with guacamole. No, it's not good for you. High in fat content.
Guacamole is very good for you. It's a good fat as long as you're not eating a pound of it every single
right. But
day.
that's the problem is once you start, you don't stop. Like that. That's the thing. Like pistachios, it's a good fat. Except you get a whole bag. Are you really stopping?
Don't eat a whole bag. Just eat a handful.
Eat the whole bag. See, that's the problem. Excess, man. It's excess.
Judd's gonna draft steamed broccoli here because we know it's healthy and you can eat it until you pass out.
I love pistachios, by the way. Just absolutely adore them. I am going to go. I'm trying to decide. I got a couple left here. Like I said, I was thinking of guac, but I've already probably just got guac on my nachos, so I'm not going to take guac as well. I'm going to go. You know what I'm going to go with? I'm going to go with sub sandwiches.
Oh, little sub platter.
Yeah. Sub platter.
Sandwich platter.
Yeah. Soaks up the beer a little bit as well.
Yeah.
Now, if you put a ton of cheese on them, again, not good for you. Along with the beer, not good for you.
We need Inspector Judd to come by everyone's Super Bowl party and be like, I'd be careful with the, the stuffed, those jalapeno poppers have a lot of cream cheese in there.
Yep. You're clogging up your arteries. But anyway, yeah, I'm going sub platter.
So, all right, there we go. We've got Declan with buffalo wings, meatballs, the mini meatballs, and chips and queso. Judd with nachos, boneless wings, and sub sandwiches. And I wind up with pizza, buffalo chicken dip, and sliders.
I think Phil wins this.
For the well,
I would agree.
I just want to improve on my 2.5% voting performance last week.
Yeah.
I don't think I have a chance.
Why no oysters, Mackie? David says.
Listen, do you guys want me to give you the ahi tuna crisp version of this draft?
Yeah, give us three. Give us three quick. Yeah.
Oysters, like cold oysters with some horseradish and maybe a little bit of spicy red sauce.
That sounds good.
Give me ahi tuna crisps for sure.
Yep.
I saw some people joking about caviar. Caviar is
I don't like caviar.
Disgusting.
Yeah, it is.
It's not very good.
Cowboy caviar is fantastic. Yeah, as a dip. Oh, it's so good.
Let's throw it in there.
Cowboy caviar.
And then I would say some sort of pulled, like a taco bar with some sort of 8-hour slow cooked meat. Something you put in at like 4 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Some elaborate 8-hour stuffed dates, somebody says here. Yeah. You haven't stuffed dates till you tried them.
Those are at my wedding.
Stuffed dates are good. Stuffed dates are good.
Phenomenal. Yep.
Stuffed dates are real good. Prime rib. Oh, yeah.
Oh, let's go. The voting is going to be on the Score North Twitter /X account here shortly, where you can vote for who has the best Super Bowl. Who do you want to hang out with the most and eat with?
I don't want you here.
You're going to be judged by Judd apparently all day. I don't know.
No. You go with Phil or Declan. I don't want you. No. I'm eating this stuff alone.
Amazing. All right, guys. We're going to hit you with a Saturday short episode, and then Declan's got Vent Line for Sunday. We'll be back at some point, probably do the Tuesday off-season blueprint and do a news roundup and some other fun stuff on Monday here. But daily Vikings entertainment, we are your stop for off-season news and speculation here, Purple Daily. We just want the Vikings to win a Super Bowl before we die. See you.